So they did x-rays and CAT scans, and they said it looked like there might be a little fracture in her neck. That's what she said. Was just crying so hard and like, what's going on? She's like, all the chickens are dead. They're dead.
I got a new dress.
You got a new dress. And hit her head. And so she had to go to the hospital. Crazy ice storms in northern Michigan. And now northern Michigan is without power. Look at this good looking guy. Asked her to add my mama to the prayer list.
Use 2 eggs or 3 eggs? 2.
Listen to the birds.
I got a new dress.
You got a new dress. She got it at the thrift store and she's wearing her new shoes. Thrift store.
For now, I always look at clothes when we go to shows.
You like to look at clothes when we go to thrift stores?
I want one.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Put it in my room. Forever.
Treated us so. Your father and I have been searching for you. And Jesus said, why were you looking for me? Didn't you know that I would be here in my father's house? Then the boy, the Son of God, went with his family. It was time to leave the temple for now.
Church is over, guys. Journey's, we're at Papa's. Journey's found some flowers, but I did a vlog last night. I gotta. Oh my goodness! That's what she said. Boy, you need to come smell this. This is a tea. What is this called? A tea olive? I don't know. But anyway, my mom apparently fell under the olive and hit her head. And so she had to go to the hospital, and they were doing a CAT scan and x-rays.
There's a bee.
And, she might have a fracture on her neck. And they were supposed to, the orthopedic doctor was going to look at it today. So I'm still waiting to hear back.
I'm sorry, bee.
Hopefully, I put her on the prayer request at church, so they called out her name, and so hopefully everything will go good with that. So we're praying for her. But we're at Papa's. We're gonna eat some pizza in a little bit, and then I'm gonna make a roast for Sunday dinner. Bumbo. Papa's not me.
Where's Papa?
Look at this good looking guy.
Hmm?
Look at this good looking guy.
Why do you smell my breath?
You got really nice skin. Oh, he flew away. What did he say? Hello everybody. Happy Sunday. I'm going to work. It is 5:27 and like the roast is in the crock pot. It should be done in an hour. Fingers crossed, you guys. Normally my roasts are a little, I won't say they're overdone, but you know, like they fall apart and they're still good and delicious. So this one I was kind of trying to make it where it was more like sliceable instead of like falling apart. I could slice it, but we'll see. So this one I did for 4 hours on high. And I added, I was actually on the phone with my sister earlier, so updates. So I think I mentioned that my mom fell yesterday. And so, you know, being so far away from, you know, if you live far away from your family, it's hard, especially like if you get a call like this is happening, like you can't be there. And so, you know, we just went through something, you know, last month with my dad, and that was just because of his blood pressure medicines, but still you want to be there and you can't. Anyway, so apparently she was plugging in a fan or something and tripped over the cord and fell and smacked her head. And so they did x-rays and CAT scans, and they said it looked like there might be a little fracture in her neck. And so the orthopedic doctor was going to look at it. It is the weekend, and so I talked to my sister Sherry, and she talked to our aunt, who our aunt lives with my mom. She said that it looks like they're going to keep her another day or two, that they were going to look over it with the orthopedic doctor or whatever. You know, same story. I'm just assuming, like, in my brain, I'm like, he's probably not working because it's the weekend. You know what I mean? So, but you guys, this is like, I'm like, it's a good thing that she's actually in the hospital. It's like, it's not like it's a good thing, but right now, or last night and the night before, 2 nights in a row, they had a very, sorry you guys, I'm trying to get to this. Some water soluble stabilizer. The last 2 nights they had crazy ice storms in northern Michigan, and now northern Michigan is without power. Like Aunt T, we have been able to talk today because she has to preserve her, you know, her phone because there's no way to charge it. So I was like, you know, I was like, preserve your power, text when you can. So, and then, yeah, so it's cold, you know, they live where it's still cold. Aunt Autumn, my sister, sent me, like, it's 35, feels like 21. That's where she lives, right? You know, and then, like, their lows are 32, 24, 21, 25, 33, 30, 29, 26, 21, 19. So they're all still cold, and their highs 36, 33, 34, 45, 46, 42, 46, 30, 27. So those, you know, it's still cold there, and all of these ice storm warning, these conditions expect to last until 8 p.m. on Sunday. So, and they're without power, you guys, and everything is closed down. And so Aunt Tinky sent me the thing of, you know, the power outages. And so they live in the red section up over here. My entire family, they live in that. So, and that's like, it goes from like the 60, let's see. It's like, no. Okay. So it's the 60 to 100% where they live. Well, Aunt T lives in this one, and my mom and dad and sister and them live in that one. And so they're all without power. And like nothing is open. And so anyway, but I was like, you know, yay, because my mom, number one, will be kept warm because she's in the hospital. We'll have a warm meal, you know. What do they eat? What do you, if you have, you know, I just, you know, it's one of those things. We went through, you know, 9 days with Hurricane Helene and not having any power, but we are lucky enough we have water. Majority of them do not have water because they run off from wells or a water pump to pump the water that requires electricity. So they don't even have water. Like, they can't even take a shower or flush a toilet, or, you know, and how do they cook stuff? So, yeah. So I think, you know, and then I'm like, are they gonna lose everything in their fridge, or is it like cold enough where like they won't, you know what I mean? I don't even know. Anyway, so yeah, just worried about all of everybody affected, and especially, you know, my mom and her situation. I'm hoping and praying. We did I put her on the prayer request at our church, so I texted our pastor's wife this morning and asked her to add my mama to the prayer list, and they did mention her at church to everyone to pray for her. Sorry, I'm doing a towel. For everyone to pray for her, you know, fast healing, and that it not be something like a broken neck. I'm like, don't, you know, when you tell people don't go out there and don't break your neck, you know. I was like, and I don't know how much, I don't know, like, if that's, how severe that is to break your neck. Like, are you going to be in pain? Do you have to wear one of those? My mom might look really cute with a big old neck bracelet. Anyway. Yeah. But I'm like thinking I can go down and at least start this towel. So this doesn't require any like fabric lay down or anything like that. I should oil my needle.
use 2 eggs or 3 eggs. 2. That's what I use. I'll take these.
I got brownie in my mouth. I hope not. You guys, so we had dinner, and it's been raining like off and on, which is good because there's been fires in South Carolina, so we need the rain. But I let the chickens out this afternoon. They were out. I only let like there was one rooster and a bunch of hens out. I have too many roosters. I think I told you I had 8 roosters, but then I counted 7 roosters, so I don't really know. Honestly, I can't tell you if something happened to one of my roosters or not, because I'm pretty sure I had 8 roosters and then I had 7, so I'm like, but this has been over the course of what, 2 or 3 weeks that I noticed I was missing a rooster, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure, I think I even vlogged myself counting 8 roosters. I don't know. Anyway, but so then at 5:08, because we checked the cameras, I ran out. It was sprinkling, and I was like, I might as well, you know, open up the door and let the rest of the roosters out. And so I opened up the door, and then, you know, they came out and whatever. So that way the door would be open. So if any of the chickens wanted to go back in, they could. And it was starting to rain harder. So I was like, well, they probably want to go in. And then Journey was outside playing in the rain. And then she came in and, you know, got cleaned up and, you know, ate dinner and stuff. Actually, she didn't eat dinner. She had 2 bowls of cereal right before dinner. And so anyway, so that's why you guys didn't see her eat. And then later Sterling came and she ate. And so anyway, but she went outside and she came, was just crying so hard and like, what's going on? She's like, all the chickens are dead. They're dead. And so I'm like, what? So we ran out there, everybody, Papa, Uncle Brian, me, Sterling, her dad, and sure enough, one of my Isa Browns was right at like the well, all the property is family. I say our property line because it's like our line, and then it goes into the orchard, which again is our property, but you know, I don't count it as like our property. I count it as like the peach orchard or Papa's property or whatever. So right on the property line was an Isa Brown, and then I looked and there was a black, one of my black ones, and then I look over in the neighbor's yard and there's another one like laying there, and they are like all wet and kind of stiff, so kind of cold. So I'm like, they had to have been dead for at least a couple hours. So I'm thinking, I didn't see anything at 5 when I let out the, but could have been, you know, they could have already, something could have already came through and killed them, because I didn't really like scan, you know, out to see. So that could have happened already when I let the roosters out. Could have. I don't know. We just don't know. So the one chicken I did look in, it looks like it had put up a fight, so there was feathers, and then it looked like a puncture, like where a tooth had probably went in. So I'm thinking dog, coyote. We haven't saw any coyotes, doesn't mean there isn't any, but I don't know. Or a fox. I think if it was a fox, let me back up a little bit here. I think if it was a fox, it probably would have ate, you know. I do know that sometimes animals like a fox or a coyote will come through and kill And sorry, I was looking for my onesie I was going to embroider. We'll come through and kill and then bury and then come back and get it at a later time. But like I said, I didn't. So this is a shirt. 5D. We didn't see anything on the cameras. I think if it was a coyote, I think he probably would have ate them. Because I have delicious chickens. But I'm just upset that it was, you know, 3 of my laying hens. And I'm like, poor Journey, she's so upset. She's like, at least it wasn't Lemons. Lemons is her chicken. So you guys see her all the time. Sorry, I'm looking all the time with her chickens. And just and so yeah. But I'm like, now I'm down 3 chickens. As it was, I didn't have enough hens to go along with my roosters. And so now I'm like, okay, who do I have left? I have my 3. Okay, so I think, I'm not positive, I think it was my sapphire gem. It was hard to tell because of the because of them being wet, so I couldn't really tell. But the one black one that was in the neighbor's yard is the smaller black one, which I believe was my Jersey Giant. I thought Jersey Giants were giant. But she never really got that big. So yeah, so I'm pretty sure, I know that was probably her, because that's the only chicken I have that's that size. She was like smaller but more chubby, if that makes sense. So I know that was her. I know that one was her, but I don't know about the other one, if it was this sapphire. I don't think it was any of my black Asian black, whatever they're called, just because those chickens are huge. They're like huge and stocky, and this one wasn't, so I'm pretty sure it was a sapphire blue, and she's just was wet. And so, oh my gosh. So I'm talking to Autumn, my sister, and she's saying how they don't have power, you guys. They still don't have power. Did I ever mention that? So all of yeah, I did. All of northern Michigan pretty much don't have power. And she's like, it's very eerie, because if anybody has ever been through like a power outage, like in an area or whatever, it's so weird, because it's like everything at night is dark and quiet. It's like you don't hear anything running in the background. You don't hear heaters or air conditioners, or like you know what I mean? It's just so, I don't know, it's like still, so still. So she was saying how it's eerie, no power. We can hear trees falling every 3 to 5 minutes. Goodness. morning, everyone. I didn't feel like putting any makeup or anything on. It is 10:27. I'm trying to put my shoes on. I need something to lean up against. Anybody else have to lean to put their shoes on? So we went out and did a chicken count early this morning. The chickens that were dead are gone. So we had them on the edge of the property. It was pouring down rain, so we weren't going to do anything with them anyway. 70 degrees. I don't need a coat. But I went and did a chicken count, and there is my leghorn is gone, our rooster is gone, and then the 3 chickens. But one was not the Jersey Giant. It was a Bantam. So it is the sapphire gem, the eyes of brown, and then the black. It was like a black Bantam, one of the little chickens. So we're stopping at Goodwill on our way to Walmart. I gotta get some cat litter. Rain, rain, rain. Hey guys, I just thought I'd show you. Yeah, we're making a mess. So I am trying to go through. I'm gonna go through all of these toys. Hey,
That was just a game.
stuff. So
Don't worry
I'm
about
trying.
that. That was a game.
Okay. First of all, I figured I'd take you guys along this process with me. It's not going to be
I think you did it.
in this vlog. It's not going to be probably in any of the vlogs in the next week or so. But eventually,
Mom, we could also have a tool of this, our Peppa Pig stuff in there.
you supposedly already do have it. So I told my husband to bring home some boxes so we can kind of downsize.
Don't look into that.
I want to downsize Journey's toys. Like I said before, if you have too much, you get overwhelmed, and then also it creates a huge mess if you have a lot of them. So we're gonna downsize and just keep the things that we really, really love and really, really need. Some things we will just put away for another time. Some things we will donate. But I want to do something here in this living room. Our living room has looked the same for the past 10 or more years. I've never really like made it my space. I've kind of done the kitchen, although the kitchen I just kind of like, I never remodeled or any of that stuff. I've just like changed out the curtains. Like it wasn't until probably just a couple of years ago that I changed out the curtains. They were always the same curtains that my husband's mom made, and one day I was just like, why don't I just change out the curtains? We've had these curtains forever. We bought them like at Big Lots, I want to say, or somewhere. We liked them because they went with the brown, like we have the brown shelves and stuff, but it's just, I don't know. I think after I redid, or, you know, downstairs made that kind of my space, it's like cozy and like, and I always feel like our living room is just always not very inviting. It's like, I don't know. It's always, like I said, I'll turn you around, you guys can see what it looks like. Like this. It always looks like this.
Let's go to my side out.
So I made a board. Gosh, what is it called? It is called Millinote. So I've been using Millinote. And I just kind of like went on Pinterest and got some like things that I liked. And then, yeah, I just started to kind of piece together like what generally I am kind of hoping, looking for. And so we're not gonna like, we can't replace our carpet, we can't replace any of our furniture right now, but eventually I do want to do that. But why is that wet there? Why is it wet here?
I don't know.
I don't know either. You need to get down from there. I'm going to, number one, I'm going to make curtains and change these out. I want to paint this wall, and I think I'm going to wallpaper this wall. So I already picked out the wallpaper. I already ordered it. It's hopefully there's enough. I think there will be, because it was like it would cover. I don't remember how many square feet. If anything, I'll have to buy it. I might have to buy one more roll. 20 something square feet. And I don't know how long this wall is.
For a mission.
I don't know. So we will see when it comes in, if I even like it. Because if I don't like it when I get it, then I'm going to be like, eh. So I want to do like a gallery wall, kind of like what I did downstairs. And I'm thinking I'm going to do that over on this side or over there. See, this is the side that's going to be painted, and this is going to have the print. So, although this might look really good with the print, and then put this as the painted side. I don't know. But I'm also going to move my record player that is now gutted, and we're going to move it over in front of, I wish the vent was not like directly in front of the window, because with that vent there, you can't cover up the vent. So I'll either have to move it from one side to the other, which I would really like to just have it like in the middle. And then eventually I want to hang some plants in front of these windows just to bring in some greenery and make it more inviting. And then an area rug. I found one at Ollie's that I really liked, and then I looked on Amazon and I found some other ones, but the ones on Amazon, I don't think they will. I think they're like cheap because it's like you can wash them, and I'm like, no. The area rugs I'm looking for are like the ones you have to roll up and you have to, so I just don't think it would be a fitting thing. But I want to bring, so what I'm looking for is like colors. I want more colors in the living room, like pinks and greens and blues and reds and just like color. But I want it to kind of flow with each other. The wallpaper I picked out is a floral wallpaper, so I'm hoping to bring some of that floral in. And then the curtains, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna, I have the red gingham fabric, which I think would look really cute if I did the like red gingham and then did like a lacy bit, you know what I mean? So it'd be lace, kind of like for the middle one. But I'm not going to bunch it up. I'm going to spread it out, and then did the red gingham on the side. And then, yeah, we're just going to go from there. And I have a shelf over in that corner. That's a corner shelf that I think I'm going to move over here in this corner and put some stuff on it. And yeah, we're gonna do this project. All right, guys. Made curtains.
Yep, don't mind about the doctors.
And I moved my, this is my record player that didn't work, that we ended up gutting, that my husband was going to put something else in there. But that's what we got so far. I mean, I moved the droid.
Yeah,
A lot of
the
people
droid.
wonder why we got droids in our living room. My husband made them. And yeah, so ideas. Wallpaper is going to go on this wall. This is going to become a gallery wall right here. And yeah.
Doctor. Oh, please, can it stay like this?
Hello everybody. So did I film the curtains? I don't know if I did or not. I think I did. Anyway, so it turns out what I thought was a tablecloth is actually a curtain. The lacy bit that was in the middle. If not, I'll put a picture. But the so I measured the curtains, and I just made the 2 panels the size of the panels that were already up there. And so then when I realized that that was a curtain, it's actually way longer than what my red ones are, my gingham ones. But my husband's like, I like it. It just, he's like, I'm not a fan of like red, of like just having red things. And I said, well, sorry, I'm looking for the scissors. I only got 12,000 pairs. I was like, well, sorry, I'm moving you guys all over. I was like, well, my idea is to incorporate a lot of color and prints and have it, you know, have it be alive, just like, you know, warm and inviting in colors. And I was like, I don't know, I have something in my mind. Anyway, we have had headaches all day. Pretty sure it's because of the weather. There's a huge storm moving through. Hold on one second. Okay. I have to get that all situated. I don't even know what I was talking about. Do you guys know what I was talking about? Probably my living room remodel. So yeah, we have never, like, so when I moved in with my husband, he already had the house decorated. So that wasn't like I was just gonna come in and take over and like, and a lot of things, like he didn't put a lot of, like, my husband has good style. I will give him that. When I first met him, in the way the house was decorated, you would almost think that a woman had decorated it, like been here. I know a lot of things have come from his mom that she gave him and stuff. So he had, like, it didn't look anything like it looks now. But he had a lot of like Native American figurines and stuff that his mom had painted, and so he had them all displayed. And he had this mantelpiece that went around and had an entertainment center in. So it was really neat looking, actually. And I think it was a mantle that came from somewhere in the family, somebody's fireplace mantle. And so yeah, so he had, I don't know, It was like the one bathroom was kind of like a Western, almost like a Western kind of. He had the border and the towels matched, and you know, everything just went, it looked really good together. And then the other bathroom, which is the one we use for our bathroom, which is the main bathroom, all the colors in there went together really good. You know, everything looked really good. Well, then, you know, you have kids and things, you know, get broken and moved about, and you know, and then over time I think it would just, like, we just kind of give up. It's like we have kids and they have taken over the living room with all of their toys. And so he did display a lot of his toys and stuff, which totally didn't bother me at all. I didn't really have any interests in, as far as like collecting things or, you know, collectibles or, you know, anything like that. So, you know, I'm like, that's fine, do what you gotta do. And now that I have taken an interest in like some of the vintagey, cottagey kind of things, because our living room has just gone untouched, and it's just we've had the same curtains, guys, since probably, it's been over 10 years, I'm pretty sure it's been. I was like, we got those curtains, so we had a chocolate brown sectional, and we had got our bookcases, and they were like that chocolatey brown, and so we got the curtains to match, you know, chocolatey brown. And so, you know, they've been up there forever. So I hate it when this thing says you have a comment and it doesn't pull up a comment. I haven't heard from anybody in my family. My sister, my other sister, my brother. I haven't heard from anybody. Or Tressa, Auntie. They are in northern Michigan, where there was a huge ice storm that has gone through. It has knocked out the power everywhere. Most people up there have like wells, so they have pumps, like that you would need the pump to flush the toilet. So they don't even have water. And it's like, you know, roads were closed because trees were down, power lines were down. It would be similar to like when the hurricane came through here, because there was a lot, you know, we couldn't get anywhere because of the roads. Like, it was, at one point, we didn't even know how we would get there, because every road that led out of here had trees across it and stuff. And so somebody said that you could go up this way and go down this road and go to, you know, it was like a maze, like you're trying to find your way out of the maze. So I don't know. The only thing I know is what I see on Facebook from other people that live, you know, in the same vicinity and still is able to, you know, I'm sure, like, probably Aunt Sherry, Aunt Autumn, I'm sure they could probably charge their phone, like, with their car, you know, if they have the gas. But it's like, I need to know what's going on. Anyway, I'm going to get working now.
Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye, guys.